You have Shaq above Kobe all time?
No, I have Kobe above Shaq, but for me, I have them. I have them kind of like almost equal. And I know you're going to come at me with the, oh, what about the three championships where da 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 da. But
Yeah,
I think like
that's what I was gonna say. Well, yeah, I've had the three championships. Who won Finals MVP?
I just think like it's a there's whole there's the whole like timing thing of that where obviously Shaq was the best player on that, but then I think post the Shaq and Kobe years, what Kobe was able to do transcended even the peaks of Shaquille O'Neal's ability. Like that run from 2007 to 2000 at the end of the 2010 season for Kobe was absolutely phenomenal. Like 2007, they weren't really competing for a title or anything, but from a scoring perspective, Kobe was out of this world on like crazy runs that like it took someone like James Harden to pretty much break the internet to break. So yeah, I think the peaks of Kobe's abilities and the longevity of what he was able to do. Obviously, he had injuries later on in his career, but like that whole mentality of like no days off and it translating to absolute basketball in its purest form. I think that there is what does it for me, and that's probably more from like an emotional standpoint as a fan watching the game. And I think there's nothing more pure than what Kobe was able to do on the court, rather than Shaq just like hammering it home. Yeah, he was really dominant, but I think there was a lot of holes in his game at times
I don't know.
that
I agree with what Max Kellerman said. I feel like Kobe Bryant gets put, obviously RIP, but I feel like he gets put very high in conversations because Max Kellerman said it. People love Kobe so much because of the way he made them feel. But if you sort of look at it, I mean, even then when you're comparing the picks and you're saying in the later years, like those 2007, 2010, like Shaq was at the end, like he was what, 34, 35, 36.
no, I'm
Kobe's
not.
eight years
I
younger. So
wasn't.
it's like,
I, I wasn't comparing Kobe to Shaq then. I was
hmm,
just saying, like, if you look at their careers in like two parts, and like Kobe was able to be really, really successful in his earlier years, win championships, and then kind of moved out of that, was on some shit teams, and then moved back in to be like an incredibly dominant player. And like what he was able to do with Pau Gasol, where he was by far and away the number one player on that team and like purely unstoppable. I think the combination of those two is what does it for me. And like that also could be because I'm from a generation where we didn't, well, I didn't, well, everyone in my generation didn't really get to see Shaq play live. So yeah, there's a lot of aspects that go into it, and that's why it's so hard to compare eras, even though they're slightly part of the same era. But you know, it's you can only go off what you've got, and yeah, like I think Shaq one of the most dominant players ever, and definitely a top three in that category. But he's pretty much just a overweight Giannis.
What? What?
he's a what? Sorry. He's a what? He's a
Like,
what?
like we have pretty much all of us have three centers over Shaq before we get to him.
Yeah. So I've got,
Okay,
yeah.
Like,
historically the most dominant position in all of
yeah, but
basketball.
so how can you put someone in the GOAT debate when you've got three other players ahead of you or two other
That,
players
that,
ahead of you
that,
in your own
that was
position?
that was the point I was making, where like some people would argue he's the fifth greatest player to wear a Lakers jersey.
Yeah, and he like probably the fourth, but you can have the fifth if that's what you want, Jed.
I said you could make the argument.
Now I don't know whether you can, but we'll go with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just
bro.
more just bamboozled
When
by the
Kobe
fact
was
that
coming up, when Kobe was finally like what 4 years into it, he's paired with Shaq, the most unstoppable force, and you got Kobe in behind him. Like,
yeah. He's got
shit,
Kobe in
imagine
front of
if,
Shaq. How the fuck do you have Kobe
yeah,
above Shaq? I don't get that.
imagine
Like,
having, imagine if Shaq had somebody like
Put it this way,
half the talent of Kobe when he was on Orlando.
against the Blazers when Shaq caught that lob from Kobe, Shaq's not getting that dunk if Kobe doesn't exist. So, you
Someone
guys
else
just
could have thrown that seed, man. What do you mean?
I did
bro,
that.
I don't know. I feel like this is crazy. Like Kobe at his peak one MVP and two championships. Shaq at his peak one MVP, three championships, three Finals MVPs. Shall we
Yeah.
keep going?
Well, also, then you got to like if you want to look at the whole body of work, what's his name? Kobe, absolute elite defender and elite scorer, one of the greatest scorers of all time. Whereas Shaq was not.
But the thing is, you guys all say he's one of the greatest scorers of all time. Okay, what's the thing we look at? If you're such a great scorer, okay, you should have hella scoring titles. That's what I think. If you're such a great scorer, you should have so many scoring titles. Because everyone wants to say, well, he's a great scorer. Show me the scoring titles. Show me them. There's
Okay,
not that many.
outside of Kobe Bryant, oh not Kobe, outside of Michael Jordan, how many players stacked up scoring titles like they were nothing else?
KD.
James Harden.
Was that? What'd you
KD and
say?
James Harden. There you go.
How many does KD have?
4.
Does KD actually have four?
KD
That's
has
crazy.
4. KD has 4 scoring titles. James Harden has scoring titles. Like, I don't get this. People put like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, bro. Like to someone who's like not here anymore, but still, like, bro, if you're such a great scorer, where are the scoring titles? If you're such a great scorer, where are the scoring titles? That's how you judge someone for being such a great scorer, right? It's scoring titles. Where are they? That's not no, that's not impressive to me. If we're going to say that you're one of the greatest scorers, show me the scoring titles. That's what I want to see. Show me.
Another argument there on top of P's one is that KD and Harden and all those guys are doing it against each other, and they're still some of the greatest with massive scoring titles, and still some of the greatest. You know, Curry as well. Who was Kobe doing it against?
Okay, now to be fair though,
Still didn't get it.
hey, there was Tracy McGrady back then. You know, Tracy
Yeah,
McGrady.
Tracy McGrady was injured so young though, and then he's out of there. Like, he was only around for a little bit.
Yeah, but like I said, that's a good point that you make. But still, it's if the reputation that we're giving is he's such a great scorer, the greatest scorer of all time, which is what some people say. They say he's one of the great scorers of all time. Show me the scoring titles. I want to see them.
In defense of the argument, this is how the list goes. It goes MJ 10, Wilt 7, and then it drops all the way down to 4. And there's a couple players with 4, and then Harden's got 3, a few players with 3, and then the rest of them have 2. Not many players have 2 scoring titles.
But how many does Kobe have? So how many does Kobe have?
Okay, what would Kareem Abdul-Jabbar 2?
Yeah, but how many does Kobe have?
Kobe's got 2.
2 scoring titles, and you're telling me this is supposed to be one of the greatest scorers of all time. 2
He's got
scoring
the
titles.
same. He's got the same amount of scoring titles as the person with the second most points of all time, and the person with the most points of all time is not even on the list of 2.
Bro, but that's the thing. Everyone always wants to say, oh, he's one of the greatest, if not the greatest scorer of all time, only behind MJ. Show me the scoring titles. You say this guy has 2 scoring titles and that's your guy's best pure scorer. Oh, he's the best scorer ever. No. 2 scoring titles for being the best scorer ever? No. I don't care. If he's a Lakers legend, I don't no. If your reputation is you're the scoring, purest best scorer, 2 scoring titles does not suffice for me. No chance, bro.
Okay, so
Yeah,
firstly, from me to everyone listening, I have had enough of the slander of Kobe Bryant for one day. So we will count that slander out of there. Back to the Shaquille O'Neal statement. Most of us, I think all of us have Shaq ranked at 8th. Is that right, Jid? Where do you have him ranked?
I didn't make a list. I was too busy ranking the greatest Lakers of all time.
Yeah, I just want to defend Shaq because I feel like Shaq gets a lot of hate, so I want to defend Shaq. Because I feel I got a little bit passionate there. So don't judge me, guys. I'm just defending Shaq because I'm defending the defenseless, the voice for the voiceless.
So I think we all have Shaq ranked 8th, like at all time. So and considering that we have MJ and LeBron at the top, and then Kareem kind of thereabouts, Shaq can't be in the GOAT debate, and I think we're pretty unanimous on that.
No, I like it. I like it a lot. But yeah, man, yeah. I mean, listen, it's hard to be all-time great. And to be top 10, bro, of all time, of all the basketball players they've ever played, I mean, there you go, bro. One of the GOATs.
One last comment on this. How many, this surprised me. How many top 5 MVP seasons do you reckon Kobe Bryant had?
Probably 8.
I would say like 7.
11.
Oh, yeah. And how many MVPs did he win? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, you guys want a dick ride? Dick ride for what? Being top MVP. I don't care, bro.
Right,
I told you, I don't
We
care.
have been cancelled by the fandom because we're shitting on Kobe too much. Thank you all for listening to the 60 episodes. It's been a pleasure.
Um, that was just a fun fact with Jed, but old sensitive Sally over here, bro, get out your feels.